Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here, and we are dealing with her personal favorite of all zombie films in a groundbreaking and very influential film called Zombie, also known as Zombie 2 without the E, which was the Italian release version of Dawn of the Dead. Other titles include Zombies, Zombies 2, Zombie Flesh Eaters, probably its best known title, Island of the Living Dead, and Nightmare Island. And this was directed, it was directed by the great Lucio Fulci, aka, no, he's not the godfather of gore, that's Herschel Gordon Lewis. We'll skip that for now. He hit most aspects of Italian genre cinema, directing giallos like Never Torture a Duckling, Lizard in a Woman's Skin, The New York Ripper, probably one of the nastiest films he ever directed. He also had his End of the World trilogy, which consisted of City of the Dead, The Beyond, and House by the Cemetery. Quit messing with my mic cord. And some of his later films included the semi-autobiographical film called Cat in the Brain, which you could kind of call it the 8.5 of horror films. And of course the inevitable Zombie 3, of which there were many versions with that there were many films with that title, but it was like his last zombie film, I think. Now, film stars Richard Johnson, whose career we skimmed over back during my review of Screamers back in August. Always causing trouble, Taz. Always causing trouble. Quit chewing on that. Keep that up, and I'm going to rub your head bald. Yeah, I can't really get mad at him. Too cute. Our other big main male star, the male lead, is Ian McCulloch, who during the 60s appeared in films like Where Eagles Dare and Cromwell. But by the late 60s, early 70s, he was starting to do some genre work like Roddy McDowall's It, which was a film that dealt with the Golem, and Peter Cushing's The Ghoul. Of course, he's best known among genre fans for his 3 Italian horror films. The film we're looking at today, Zombie, as well as Zombie Holocaust, which is also known as Dr. Butcher MD, and the Alien knockoff Contamination, also known as Alien Contamination. Although, considering its low budget, they set the whole thing on Earth. And the female lead is, I think it's pronounced Tisa Farrow, younger sister of Mia Farrow, you know, that famous actress. She didn't have a lot of film work during her career. I mean, she had some films in the 70s, dramas and such, but she's better known for her horror films. First of which was the TV film Initiation of Sarah, which was a Carrie knockoff set in college. And her probably best known film outside of this one, Arthropophagus. I think that's correct pronunciation. Or no, I'm sorry, Anthropophagus. Got the end. Also known as the Grim Reaper, in which has one of the most controversial deaths involving a fetus ever put on film. And in her last film, titled The Last Hunter. Interesting side note, she did appear in a Woody Allen movie, although it was before Woody Allen and her sister got together. I think it was his last film with Diane Keaton, or one of the last ones. Tisa played a party guest in the film Manhattan. Well, we open our film Zombie with Dr. Menard, played by Richard Johnson, shooting a body that, there's a body in a bag and it sits up and he shoots it in the head and then tells his assistant, the boat can go now. Then after the credits, we cut to New York Harbor, where a sailboat, seemingly unmanned, is just kind of knocking around the harbor, causing problems. Almost got hit by a tugboat. So Harbor Patrol goes out, and there doesn't seem to be anyone aboard at first. So one of them goes below decks to see what's up. I'm too excited here. That was nasty. I mean, his skin came off. Ugh. Needless to say, he's done for. And our wrestler-shaped zombie is going up top to see what the other cop's doing.
Tis but a scratch.
That was a mistake. He should have gone for the head. Zombies don't need to breathe in water. Well, let's move on to meet our hero.
I'm giving you an assignment. Get over to, where does she say? Pier 15 is a story there.
Is there something big?
Yeah. Boat without anyone on it, cop killed. Poke around a bit, see what you can find. You know.
Okay. I'll let you know.
That was Fulci as the editor. Doing a little Hitchcockian cameo there. Yes, that is our hero, Peter West, journalist. And next, we meet our heroine, Ann Bowles, because the police are questioning her because it's her father's boat.
Where's your father now?
I don't know. Actually, I was hoping you could tell me. I haven't heard from him in over a month.
I see. And how long since you last spoke to him?
3 months. When he set sail for the Antilles to...
Aww. Tisa's cute. Well, of course, Trump's on the Farrow family. Anyways, Antilles. I think we can all guess where she'll be heading soon. Before we get into all that, let's check out and see how the dead policeman's doing in the morgue.
I'm not dead.
Uh-oh. Yeah. That's not good. Well, we'll skip that for now. It'll become important way later. Anyway, that night, Anne slips aboard her father's boat to do some searching. and we get our meet cute of the film.
Don't scream. Don't scream. There's nothing to be afraid of. My name's Peter West, and I'm a reporter. Now, I'm going to take my hand away, and you're not going to scream, okay? Okay.
Now, the reason he did that, or stated reason, was if he hadn't, she would have screamed when she ran into him, and that would have alerted the cop that's up top. Unfortunately, he becomes aware of someone's presence on board anyways, so thinking quickly, they come up with a plan to explain why they're there.
Hey, what the hell's going
It was his idea, not mine.
Well, listen to her, Miss Goody Two-Shoes. It wasn't her fault. It was all my idea. Well, whose idea was it to have a romantic setting down by the water? I'd have settled for an empty boxcar.
Oh, no, never again. Not another boxcar.
That's some pretty good acting there. Apparently the explanation that they give is that her mother never leaves the house, so they have to go outside to get some romance. It works. Cops probably heard weirder things. Anyway, they slip out with a letter from her father explaining that he is ill from a disease and mentions an island, Matoa. So, their next stop is to hit the Antilles and then charter a boat to find Matoa. Unfortunately, all the boats are all rented or being used, and nobody goes to Matoa. There's some rumors about what's going on there. Nobody wants to talk about it. Those that admit there is even an island called Matoa. So they have to start looking for someone who might be able to take them there, and they meet a couple, Brian and Susan, who were just kind of bumming around the islands.
Okay, Peter. We'll have to load more supplies. You pay your share. Deal?
A deal.
Oh, well, that was pretty easy. Oh, though, we do learn that they don't exactly know where Matul is, and as I said before, the natives all avoid it, but well, you know, a couple extra hands might be okay. We then cut to Matul, and we learn that Dr. Menard's wife is a bit of a drinker, having been stuck on the island, and he's trying to fight an epidemic, something to do with blood, and she just wants to go, but he's like, you'll be fine. Nobody comes to this side of the island. So we all know that's not going to stay that way for long. But anyways, we now cut to the two couples on their boat, and they stop. Number one, because they're checking islands, but two, Susan is a photographer, and she's taking underwater photographs. And she runs into a bit of a problem. And now we come to one of the scenes this film is most known for. The other scene is at the beginning of the video. Fulci had a thing about eye damage. And that was anyway. We get zombie shark fight.
indeed.
Wow. That was a real shark. And that stuntman is wrestling around with a real shark. Fulci's crazy. Anyways, on the island of Matul, Dr. Menard's epidemic is getting worse. Anyone who catches it, they eventually die. And then he ends up having to shoot them in the head because they come back. And he's thinking it's got to be some kind of parasite. But his assistant, Lucas, thinks something else might be involved.
The natives are blind crazy. They run all over the village. They pick up their possessions and disappear.
Where did they go?
They're going inland. They're making voodoo, I think.
Voodoo won't solve anything.
Voodoo. Yeah, so we're not going with the Romero version of outer space radiation or whatnot. Oh, remember when I said that Menard told his wife that she had nothing to worry about? She gets a very unwanted visitor that night. And that's what led us to footage I showed at the beginning. And Menard doesn't know this because he didn't go home that night because he's stuck in his little makeshift hospital with all these dying patients. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Ben and Susan tell Peter and Anne some bad news about the shark encounter.
The drive shaft's cracked. It must have been the shark when he hit us.
Is it serious?
Well, we have two possibilities. Either we go ashore and walk around until we come to the local repair shop, or we remain here, fire up a few flares, and hope that somebody will come and help us.
Well, they decide on the flares. And luckily, Menard is outside with his nurse and Lucas burying a bunch of his patients he couldn't save in a big grave. And they see the flares. So Menard goes and they come ashore. And he tells Anne what happened to her father.
I've written to my dear child, Anne. Let her see that it gets to her and make sure that my soul rests in everlasting peace.
Is only mostly dead.
And that is where the film began. So now we have context for that scene. They're not sure what to make of this guy talking about people coming back from the dead from a disease and zombie stuff. But her father did say he was suffering from a disease. But anyways, when they get back to the hospital, he gives them the Jeep, asks him to go to the other side of the island to check on his wife. And he's got more patients to deal with. And you know, he really should have sent someone sooner. Of course, they beat feet out of there. Only to have a zombie get in front of their car, causing them to wreck. And Peter injures his ankle. So So now they're on foot, constantly being hounded by these voodoo drums, until eventually they stop to rest in an old conquistadores gravesite, where Peter and Anne decide this is the perfect moment to express their feelings for each other. Oh, talk about your coitus interruptus there. Now we come to the third and last of the iconic scenes that come from this film.
I've had worse.
Yes, Susan's gone. But Ben manages to take out the offending zombie, learning quickly headshots, and they get away but have to leave her body behind, which Ben is devastated. And they finally make it to the hospital, where they start barricading everything and prepare for the siege. And then, in quick and gory fashion, we get Dr. Menard, Lucas, and the nurse, all three taken out by zombies that have gotten in. At which point, they've been working on Molotov cocktails with kerosene. We get the big siege. And the zombies keep coming, and the firebombs keep getting thrown, and the bullets are flying, and they fight their way free, and all the zombies in there are burning up, and looks like they're going to be safe.
I'm not dead.
Yeah. She bites him, and then Peter takes her out, and they make it to the boat, but there's a couple of problems. First problem:
Can't we go any faster?
The drive shaft could go any second. We'll make for San Cristobal. There's a yard there that we can fit.
and the second problem.
I don't want to become like... Take me home, Peter. Save me. Save me. Save me.
But when Ben dies, Peter is not keen on making sure he doesn't rise up.
Lock him in the bilge, take him back with us to the States. Someone there might be able to do something.
But we can't risk it. You know what he might turn into.
And I'll make sure that he's safe. We've got to take him back with us. He's the only proof we've got that this all happened.
That is a horrible idea. Peter doesn't really need the proof because, as we the audience know, the problem way back in New York towards the beginning, and Peter learns of the outcome of that on a radio broadcast.
New York City, since the discovery of the first zombie, is getting worse by the hour. There's chaos in the streets. The National Guard cannot control the situation. In every borough of the city, from Brooklyn to Manhattan, from Harlem to Queens, the zombies are taking over.
You're doomed. You're all
Yeah. So, they're now stuck in the ocean with a boat that could break down at any second, with a zombie locked in the bilge who could possibly break out. And since the spread has already hit New York, America's probably going to be doomed. And as we get our final shot, which is the last and fourth iconic scene, the zombies on the bridge going into Manhattan. This is by far the darkest, most depressing, and nihilistic film in the entire zombie genre. I mean, there have been others that have been really downbeat, but this was like, not even Romero's films match this. Not even the first one matches how dark this film is. I mean, Romero always had a bit of an upswing. Even though everyone died in Night of the Living Dead, there was this feeling that the posses were just going to take care of everything. And then in the second one, the last two remaining main characters escape from the mall to head somewhere else, where we don't know, but there's a hopeful ending. And especially in Day of the Dead, when the three remaining people find an island that's uninhabited and they can stay there until the zombies all fall apart or whatever. Anyways, but this one, this is by far, I think, Fulci's best film. I know there are some that would say, no, it's this one, it's Beyond or City of the Dead, but this one I think it's brutal, very gory. He really knew how to use gore, and that's why a lot of the footage I haven't shown, because what I've shown are the tame parts. Only City of the Dead, in which a girl basically pukes up her entire digestive system. This film has been unmatched in the gore area, and and he's got those iconic zombies that he created that kind of got copied by a lot of people with the worm infested bodies that are coming up. Oh God, it's hard to look at. And good cast, likable characters, although Peter is a bit of a douche, especially at the end. And definitely coming back to be on them. I mean, of course, he could take a gun, unlock the door, and then shoot him before he can get to him, and then toss him overboard. But still, that's a heavy risk. He should have just done what the man asked him to do in the first place. But journalist. Yeah, very fast-paced and fairly coherent for a Fulci film. A lot of times his films are a little hard to follow, dream logic and such. But he really outdid himself with this one. And of course, he would go on to make other great films. He has his fan base. A little towards the end of his life, his films got not quite as good, but he still managed to put out some good quality there. And yeah, great score. It's very drum heavy, but and again, some of the music which you hear in the clips, iconic now, up there with Goblin. And oh God, the oppressive atmosphere on that island. Everything is all humid and sweaty and just gnarly. Especially, there's a scene with the wife where she, before her death, she gets a shower, and even after the shower, it's like she immediately just sweated it all away. It's just very oppressive atmosphere. And they do, but they don't give you an explanation of what happened. Doctor thinking it's a blood disease, but consider you've got these century-old conquistador bodies that are reanimating in that one graveyard. The thought of voodoo from the natives is kind of getting more and more plausible, but there's no definite reason. And I think that's part of the appeal of this film, is that ambiguity. You're not sure. And yeah, if you like more upbeat endings, Italian zombie films are not for you. Most modern zombie movies are not for you. They really always have downbeat endings, which probably accounts for the times they were made. You know, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, late 60s. The ones that came out, the Zack Snyder reboot that started off, you know, his remakes of Dawn of the Dead, and then you had the 28 Days Later. You know, zombie movies always come out when things aren't going well. And it's kind of a reflection of those fears. Awesome film. You know, 5 stars. Excellent cast. Highly recommended if you're not squeamish. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay after the credits for my favorite scene, which, if you're familiar with the film, you can probably already guessed what it was.